Okay, let me show you this. You see how one of these wires is rough? This is the plug-in wire. One of them's rough and one of them's smooth. This is the smooth one. It's the black, it's the hot. It comes in and it goes to L1 or line 1. The rough one goes to N2 because it's neutral. This neutral up here is for 220 volt operation. You can see that N1. So these blue capacitors, they go from the ground of the transformer to the case to one of these blue capacitors over to neutral, and then the second blue capacitor goes right across the line. The CL60 here, this is a inrush current limiter. It goes before the bridge. You can see how that's set up. The frequency control, hold on a sec. The volume control goes on these twisted wires down to where it says frequency control. You can barely see it. This little gray square thing is a trim pot. It adjusts the level at which the inverter shuts itself off. So that little thing, you need a little teeny screwdriver to adjust that so that it doesn't shut itself off too much. Now, the high voltage transformer goes into these two, and this is the primary. One end is the start and one end is the finish of the primary. And usually what I do is bend over the lead that is the start. See where it says HF1 right there? That's the driven side, and that gets the, I forget, start or finish, I'll have to tell you later. HF2 is the other side of the transformer, and you've got to make sure that you put the little red ground line over to the case and over to the transistors. And here's the circuit board in all of its glory. Now this 2100, the black thing, is the kind that goes flat, and there's another kind that sticks up sideways. It just depends where it goes on the heat sink. I make these heat sinks. They're nothing more than 16th inch aluminum. I'll have to give you the dimensions later. And then there's this piece of Lexan here, and the transformer mount is kind of interesting. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. It's pieces of Lexan welded onto this sheet of Lexan, and then I silicone the hell out of everything so that it can't spark. Hold on a second. So you can see that. See how there's a lip, a little grabber of Lexan, and then a bunch of silicone. So this keeps the red high voltage off of the board. And this part here, well, here's the whole inverter. There it is, the volume control. And you got to make sure you get the right, there's 3 wires coming out of the volume control. I sent you the right one, but you'll learn how to do that. Here's the board in all of its glory. And then we come to the high voltage transformer mounted. Now let me show you how to do that.